Hello, my name is Sullivan Shaw, and this is my discussion post for the election issues discussion. Um, so the first part that we talked about it for this discussion post was about like who can vote and like what the basic requirements are. So like being a U.S. citizen, being at least 18 years old, and you have to be a resident of the state you're voting in. And that's pretty much all I really thought that mattered, like that would matter for you to be able to vote. But yeah, once I started to learn more, I kind of realized that states have a huge amount of control over how voting works. So yeah, so some of the videos it kind of explained that the registration rules vary a lot. So some states let you register online or even on the same day you vote, while others make you register weeks in advance in order to vote in the election. Um, which really affects who's able to vote. I was also really surprised by how states handle voting rights for people with felony convictions. So there's no single national rule, but different states can handle it differently. So someone might be allowed to vote in one state, but completely barred in another. Yeah. And then so for the part two, my first section that I went over was the Electoral College, which I've always heard of but never really looked that deep into before. And the main thing that stood out to me is that it doesn't necessarily really reflect the popular vote. Like it's not all just like what everybody wants. It's a little deeper than that. And so since most states have a winner take all setup, a small shift in one swing state can kind of drastically change the result of the election. So it's not just about like what the popular vote is and like who everyone wants. It's more like how many. Yeah, it's a lot deeper than that. um, and yeah, so it made me kind of realize how much like certain states can have more of an impact than other states. Um, and so yeah, then I did caucuses was my second part of part two, and which are definitely I'd never really heard of before. But they're pretty different from primaries. So instead of voting privately, people have to show up in person and talk with other people and physically stand with the group they're supporting or with the candidate they're supporting. And it takes a really long time, and you can't just drop in and leave it like you can with like regular voting. Um, and so because of that, turnout is usually a lot lower than primaries. But another thing I didn't know about them was that if a candidate doesn't reach a certain level of support, like they have to go to another group and support the other group that they go to, which is really weird and it makes them a lot more unpredictable, but a little more community focused in some ways. But yeah.